Okay, so this song, oops, I didn't mute it again, has a little bit of a story. I will try to make it short. So this is from a tape that I had when I was a kid. It was actually a religious tape for kids, and it is called The Music Machine, if you're curious. It had a whole storyline throughout the entire thing, and then there were songs throughout it. Um, and it was, uh, what do they call them? Virtues, I guess. I feel like there's a certain number of virtues, whatever. Peace, patience, kindness, self control, goodness, gentleness. I'm probably saying them out of order now because joy. Was that for that? Yeah, joy. I don't know. It's a thing that I don't really remember exactly now because it's been a long time. But the Patience song has always been one of my favorites, and it's got a little story, like the whole song is a story, and it's just adorable, and it's one that stuck with me all these years. I mean, really, almost all of the songs from that tape have, because I listened to it over and over and over and over. Probably drove my parents crazy on all our road trips up to the mountains, like, put on Music Machine. And I think my brother listened to it probably as much as I did. So yeah, they're just ingrained in our brains. But this one came up again. I mean, it was always in my head, but I didn't really think of singing it. But one day me and Adam had gone out to eat. This was like early in our relationship. We'd gone out to dinner, and I had some leftovers that I took home, and they put them in a styrofoam box. And I just drew with my finger a snail on it because it's one of the few things I can draw. And he was just like, "Oh, that's cute. Why did you draw a snail?" And I was like, "It's Herbert, the snail." And he's just like, "What are you talking about?" So, of course, on our way home, I had to sing the song to him, and he thought it was hilarious. Um, and he learned the chorus. This was another song he used to sing to me at night sometimes when I was feeling particularly impatient about whatever. I mean, there were plenty of things that I would have been impatient about over the years, and sometimes I needed this reminder. Um, but so yeah, it's been a funny song in our relationship as well, because yeah, because of that, and just him singing it to me when I mean, both of us have huge patience issues. Like, we are not patient people. Excuse me. I can force it when I need to. Like, it's not a matter of standing in line kind of patience. Like, I'm fine with that, but other things, like important things, no patience. So, but we're both the same way in that regard. So we complement each other, or we understand each other, I should say. Man, I said my voice was up for this. I hope it is. So I think that's all I need to say for the story. And now I'm going to sing Patience for y'all. And you'll get to learn about Herbert the Snail, who is just the best. Let me real quick get the tempo, get it right, because there's this one I decided to do the tempo a little different in parts. Okay, voice, come on. There was a snail called Herbert who was so very slow. He caused a lot of traffic jams wherever he would go. The ants were always getting mad and the beetles, they would fume. But Herb would always poke along and sing this little tune. Do 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 do. Have patience, have patience. Don't be in such a hurry. When you get impatient, you only start to worry. Remember, remember that time is patient too. And think of all the times when others have to wait for you. I started going too fast and I'm just jeez, I'm sorry, you guys. When Herbert was much younger, he often got in trouble, forgetting that he was a snail. He did things on the double. He'd crash through every spider web, and with crickets he'd collide, till one day Herbert's father took his beating son aside. Have patience, have patience, don't be in such a hurry. When you get impatient, you only start to worry. Remember, remember that time is patient too. Of all the times when others have to wait for you. As you can well imagine, there's a moral to this tale. Some of you may find yourselves behind a creeping snail. So if you get impatient and you're easily disturbed, think about this little song and take a tip from her. Have patience, don't be in such a hurry. When you get impatient, you only start to worry. Remember, remember that time is patient too. And think of all the times when others have to wait for you. At the end of the real song, it's a bunch of sounds of like car horns honking. Just cacophony. It's hilarious. But yeah, I just love it's a great little moral song. Like, remember when you're impatient, just think of all the times when others have had to wait for you. Try to keep it in check, but I know some of us are just cursed with the impatient gene, and that's much harder said than done. But yeah, most of the songs on that tape are kind of moral lessons, especially Self-Control. I love the Self-Control song. I don't know if I'll ever play it. Maybe I will. It's funny. It's just stinking funny. And yeah. Oh, and this song too, I should mention, I just did it all in the same octave because I can't do the chorus an octave lower, or at least not all of it. Some of the notes I just can't hit. But in the actual song, I don't know if it's the singer who can actually, well, the first time maybe it's the same singer. I think they distort the voice both times. So the first time through the chorus, it's Herbert singing, and it's much lower. So it's a lower octave, and it's lower. And then the second time through, when it's Herbert's father singing it, it's even lower. So I guess an octave down from that. So as a kid, that sticks in your head. You're like, oh my God, that sounds so cool. Like, somebody can sing that low. When in reality, it probably was an effect they were putting on the voice. It's like the opposite of what they did with the Chipmunks. But I don't know how they did it, so good for them. Like, very, very talented songwriters on this tape, I gotta say. Just the lyrics and the music, it's all so memorable. There are some really beautiful songs from that tape too. Some of them are just, and I did have to replace a word in this one to make it non-religious. Sorry to those of you who wish it were. If you want to sing the song in a religious context, just replace where I said, remember that time is patient too, to that God is patient too. That's the original. It's God. But being a non-religious person myself these days, I don't typically sing things that have to do with God. So some of the songs are just easier to edit than others. I don't think the Self-Control one really says anything about, I don't think, but some of them would be harder to edit. And some of them I may just sing them in their originality, whatever, the original lyrics, and it'll be fine. It's not like I'm not so against saying the words that I won't sing the songs if they're just darn good songs that I want to play and sing. And I know some of you out there will want to, have those versions to sing yourself or for your kids or whatever. Or just look up Music Machine. It might be on YouTube. I would hope so by now. It's from like the 70s, I think. Or very early 80s if at the latest. But you'll hear it if you listen to some of the songs. It's got such a 70s tone to it. Just some of the instruments they use, some of the twang in a couple of the songs. I don't know. It sounds very 70s to me, but I still adore it, and the song in particular, because I love Herbert the Snail. So I mean, not that I've been out to eat in God knows how long, but every time I do and I get a styrofoam container, I always draw a snail on it. So if you're ever with me and I do that, you'll know it's Herbert. But yeah, so that's the patience song, and I know a lot of us need extra patience right now. You know why. I don't need to remind you of the state of the world, whatever. Some of us more than others, some of y'all listening to these maybe in other countries that are doing much better than the US, and you don't really have to exercise a lot of extra patience right now. Whereas over here, we're still having to exercise a lot of it. So for those of you like me who are getting a little sick and tired of waiting for things to happen and change, just think about Herbert, who used to, what was it? He would make the ants mad and the beetles. Oh yeah, he caused traffic jams wherever he went. Oh no, that was when he was slow. Sorry. It was when he was fast. When he was younger, right, he did things on the double. Crash through every spider web and collide with crickets. So don't do that, but don't cause traffic jams either. But also find a happy medium in your patience. Why am I still talking about this? Y'all get the point of the song. Yeah, and it's just adorable. So that's the only other song I have prepared. I really haven't been playing a lot lately. Don't know why. Part of it's just been I've been really busy. The beginning of the month, I think, is typically a busier time for me for MuggleNet for various reasons. But yeah, I just also have been a little, I don't know, distracted or absent-minded, I don't know, non-motivated, any word you want to throw it, something along those lines. Yeah, probably been feeling that for who knows why. So I just wasn't quite feeling up to it either. But was this yesterday? Actually, yeah, it was yesterday that I did both of these. The patience one I had to make up the chords to, but it uses like 3, or is it 4? Like maybe there's an extra one I add one time, but whatever. It's very simple as far as chords go. You're playing the same chord just for there's not a lot of switching back and forth on every other word. It's just play this chord for a long time and play this chord for a long time, and it's fine. But I had fun messing with the tempo on that one. So you get the idea of the slow chorus, even if you don't get the low voice to go with it. If you can sing in a low voice, do it, and you'll get an even better sense of how the original sounded. Or again, just look it up. Hopefully by now it's just out there and they don't care and they want people to hear it. Yeah. Okay, really think I'm done now, and I hopefully, now that I'm caught up with Muggle Network, will do some more songs this coming week and record them as soon as I can. So I'll have even more to share with y'all. And until then, I hope y'all are doing great, and I'll see you soon. See you then. I think I was trying to say soon and then at the same time, and That's not a word. Okay, bye.